So what happens is if you clap, then you can sync the sound to the video later.
Little clappers we should get.
I don't have a clapper. If you want to give me a clapper.
Get some cardboard and paint it.
Yeah, clack. All right. Anyways, I want to thank you guys for coming. Thanks for the all the weird logistical issues we had. Are you guys excited to be a part of the Attractive Man Ventura County Bootcamp one-day extravaganza?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, Brian's
It's the name. The name bothers me, but whatever.
Okay. Well, you can help me remarket it, marketing genius. So what we're going to do today, I'm going to go through sort of the basics of the Daygame program from the Attractive Man, which is a company that I work for. They have a very specific system that they do, and that system is very simple. It's easy to meet people during the daytime, and in a daytime environment like this, like a mall. Club game is very different. So the day game thing is a different setup, and we'll just go through the quick mindsets that you need to do day game, and we're going to go out and do a couple exercises warming up, and then tomorrow we're going to dive into more of the hardcore, like getting phone numbers and all that kind of stuff. Yep. You guys okay with that? So tomorrow, if you guys show up relatively on time, I'll send a text message so that you guys can come and expect to be wherever. We had a weird thing today with the logistics where we ended up here at 6 p.m., but tomorrow's going to be a little bit different. Feel free to bring a notepad or voice record on your iPhone or whatever, because although you know me and can ask me questions at any point, the presentation itself may be useful for you to listen to, so you can get the most out of this thing. Right? I'm like going into quick presenter mode. It's hilarious. Okay. Stay on topic.
You camera.
Yeah. Okay. So, hey, actually, day 1, 6 p.m. is usually when we start.
Yeah, no.
3-day bootcamp. I forgot about that. Okay. Anyways, I want to commend you guys for being here and taking action. I appreciate your willingness to be vulnerable, step outside your comfort zones, and take a stand for your life. Also, I appreciate that you're in my inaugural video stuff so that I can get the kinks worked out in my system and go fully pro and be awesome. I'm Duke. You guys know me. I've been doing this for about 6 years. I started out in a completely socially bad space. Couldn't look people in the eye. I couldn't, when I went to a club, I felt just like an alien there. I felt like people were not, I didn't belong there. I wasn't cool enough to rate going to the nightclub. It was funny. And, I just broken up with a 7-year relationship girlfriend. I didn't know what the fuck I was going to do. And I hired a coach to get me out of that funk, and doing very much what we're going to be doing today, and just decided to get this part of my life handled. And that brought me to this point 6 years later. I've been all over the world with Attractive Man. I've been running game probably for 6 years straight in nightclubs, doing various different exercises. I've seen the whole gambit of things, from like hardcore hypnotizing to, just be yourself game, natural game. I've done it all, and come up with a few things that work really well for me, but your mileage may vary. If you have questions, feel free to ask, and if something comes to your brain, there's no such thing as a stupid question, only stupid people, so don't be a stupid person, no. There's no such thing as a stupid question, but if you're going to ask a question, make sure you're ready for the answer, because a lot of the things that we're doing here in the realm of social dynamics, the experience that I have and that we have as coaches, it may be very different to what you expect in what your logical brain may say. Oh, okay, this is going to work, this is not going to work. Just be in a learning state and understand that you might not get it at first, but through practice, you can really learn what happens without actual application. All right? That makes sense? Hi, who are you?
Hey, I'm Lindy.
Hi, Lindy. Why are you here? What do you hope to get out of this?
To destroy the fear of anxiety approach.
You said you fear approaching people.
Oh, yeah.
Do you have fear of approaching people or approaching women in general?
Women in general.
Okay. And what are your overall goals of this? Are you trying to build a harem? Are you trying to find a wife? What's going on?
Just be able to talk to anybody.
Be able to talk to anybody?
Yeah, to any girl that I want.
All right. So sex isn't really on your list, or?
Sex is always on the list. But it's more like my favorite. But it's more like, trying to learn a skill so I can utilize it everywhere.
Learning a skill.
Yeah, not be shy when I want to do something.
Awesome. Well, thank you for sharing. Thanks for being vulnerable. Brian, introduce yourself. Tell us why you're here, why you think pickup is a good thing for you, and what you're hoping to get out of it.
All right, my name's Brian. I'm here because I have no confidence, terrified to approach anybody. That's really why I'm here. I'm a coward. I feel like I'm a coward.
You feel like a coward, and how do you think pickup's going to help you address
Build up
that?
confidence.
So now we're moving to intergame session. Everything is feedback. Okay. You really, like I said earlier, you're either going to have learn something from what you do, or it's going to be a funny story. There's not really any failure here. Here, it's like we're shooting free throws in the practice court, right? You're not trying to fucking meet the love of your life today. If you do, awesome. But you probably aren't equipped to maintain her as a girlfriend if you don't practice a lot. So today is about practice. Today is about getting the reps in. What we're going to do is we're not going to pre-analyze sets. We call it sets. You understand this term? From the pickup community, a group of girls or a girl, we call it a set. Because comedians and other stage performers, they call it a set. And, I'm going to address the set, right? So that's where it comes from. When we talk to sets, I forgot what I was saying. Oh yeah, we talk to sets. We don't want to pre-analyze before we go in. Okay? A lot of guys will go in, they'll see a girl, they're like, I want to go talk to her. And they'll go, oh, well, she looks busy. She looks like she's on her phone. She looks like she has a big giant boyfriend. She looks like she has 5 kids attached to her hip. Blah, 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 blah. And they sit and they watch and they want to look for excuses why they aren't going to go approach. You're like, oh, she's not hot enough. She's not this. She's not that. Whatever. This is a skill set thing. So, a man of power, what do you think he does when he sees somebody he wants to go talk to? He just goes and talks to him. Does it have to work out for him to do the powerful thing? No, it doesn't. He goes and he talks to her, and he sees if they match, and he sees if they don't. It doesn't really matter. But he went and he talked to her, and the biggest problem most guys have is when they see the girl, they don't go talk. And then they don't have the opportunity to figure out what's going on. And you never know what can happen. Like, you can get slapped in the face, you can get stabbed. Or you could make out with her, you could go out on a date with her, you can, You alright? Don't die. You could get married, you could have a threesome with her and her friends, she could introduce you to 5 of her friends and you could bang them. You don't know what can happen. So to pre-analyze a set before you go in is ludicrous, because you're going to take your old, limited mentality and then apply it to the new opportunity. It's silly. So what we want to do is when we go do the action, just go talk to her. And sometimes it's just say hi, right? Afterwards, you can say, okay, what went right? What could I have done better? Right? But beforehand, it's dumb to make any of those assumptions, because those assumptions come from the limited viewpoint that from now, where you're at now, you're trying to move past that. You're trying to grow that out, right? Almost done, I think. So, 2 questions after, I already covered this. 2 questions after everything you do. When you come out back, we post-analyze, we say, okay, what was great about that? Like, what went well? And then, how could I have taken it further? Right? We don't want to judge ourselves and say, oh, what part of that was shitty?
Yeah.
Oh, well, because when we come back, guys are like, yeah, I should have this and I should have that. Blah, blah, blah. It just takes your state out. You start getting in a bad mood. And you're like, oh, and then you don't want to approach anymore, and then you don't learn anything. Right? So when you come out of the set, you go, okay, what was great about that? Well, I approached most guys. The statistic is most guys do 6 cold approaches their entire life. No, 3. 3 cold approaches their entire life.
Seriously?
Most relationships come from social circle, being introduced by friends, or propinquity, like you met a girl at work. Right? Most guys don't do cold approach. What we're doing is something that most guys don't do. And when you just go say I because you were compelled, that is more powerful than most dudes do. Why do you think most dudes settle at 35 with some fat chick? Right? Well, I guess this is what I'm going to get. Because they don't go out and create new opportunities. Right? So, yeah, a lot of times just going and approaching is something that went well. Just getting over that stupid fear that's been locking you in for the last few years and saying, oh, I'm going to do it anyway, that's a positive thing. Because the more that happens, the more adept you are at doing that. And like you said, you don't want to be a coward. You're going to fucking not be shy in situations anymore. You're going to reach those goals with that kind of practice.
Yeah.
You know, you face something that you fear, you face it down, it's not as bad as you thought it was, you change your perspective. So there's that. So throughout the weekend, what we're going to do is we're going to go out and we're going to approach women. We're going to go out with a specific goal. We're not going to go, oh, I'm going to go try to bang this chick. No. These results, these goals, like I'm going to bang her, I'm going to get 5 phone numbers. These are all very results-oriented. But the problem with having these results-oriented goals is that you're not in control of the results. I'm going to get 5 phone numbers is not up to you. It's up to her to give them. Right? You're not in control of that. So there is a possibility that you can fail. If I say, I'm going to bang that chick, and I go over there and she's like, sorry, I just pledged myself to nunhood. Not going to happen. Here's the pepper spray. I failed. Right? And I had no control whether she liked Jesus or she wanted to pepper spray me. I had no control over that. There's nothing I could have done studying the pickup book or practicing my improv class or social skills to say, oh, I'm going to bang that nun. It's not going to happen, right? So the point is, when you go out, don't be results oriented. Set your goals to be something that you can control. So rather than saying, hey, I'm going to go bang that chick, you can say, I'm going to go physically escalate on that girl and see if she's into it. I'm going to go get that girl's number? No. I'm going to go try to get her number. Or I'm going to go for the number. And she may give it to me, she may not. But I'm going to go 5 times, I'm going to go for the number. Right? And that's a self-directed goal. So it's something you can do. Whether you get rejected or not, it doesn't matter. You went for it. And I say, I'm going to do this 5 times. You go out, you do it 5 times. You win. You did the goal. Right? It goes all the way up to every aspect of this stuff and everything else in your life. You want to set goals that you control the outcome. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So we're going to go out and do that today. We also want goals to be realistic. We want them to, you don't want to be like, okay, I haven't been social in a long time, I haven't gotten laid for 6 months, and I'm going to go make her come 6 times. This is not a realistic goal. You're going to be nervous, you're going to have weird things, you're going to giggle, you're not going to be able to handle things well. Like, all of this shit's going to happen because you don't have the experience to go be a sexual rock star right then. Could happen, but if you make it your goal, you're setting yourself up to be disappointed because it's not going to go the way that you envisioned it. So, set realistic goals. Like, I'm going to walk up to that girl, and I'm going to say hello. And when you do it, then it reinforces that confidence, and each little unit of confidence you get, it gives you the ability to try harder and cooler shit. Right? Progressive desensitization. Basically, what we do is we're going to start very, very small. In psychology, there's a concept called progressive desensitization, where we progressively desensitize ourselves to the fear. Right? What they'll do is they'll take if you have fear of spiders, phobia of spiders, they'll take a picture of a spider and they'll show it to you until you stop flipping out, and then they'll take a little aquarium full of spiders behind glass until you stop flipping out, and then they'll find spiders that won't bite you, and they'll just hold it in the same room as you until you stop flipping out, and then they come put it on you until you stop flipping out, and then all of a sudden you can be surrounded by a bunch of spiders that can bite you, and now you don't have a fear of spiders anymore, right? This is a very slow process, but it's very, very effective, and the reason we do it this way in this the reason you feel rejected is because of the interpretation that you put on the event. So, you're like, oh, she doesn't like me, I'm not good enough, I'm not cool, blah, 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 I've always been lame, my voice sucks, I'm not tall enough, whatever. All this stuff is shit you make up in your head and then you put onto the interaction. It didn't actually happen. What happened was you walked up, you said something, she said fuck off. That's what actually happened. Everything else is an interpretation that you're making. You could make a good interpretation, saying, oh, I must not have made eye contact. She must have something going wrong. You don't know if her grandma died that day. You don't know if she's had to take her dog and put it down. You don't know why she's in a bad mood. You don't have to internalize that. That's not your fault. You don't know if she just lost her phone. I talked to a girl 2 weeks ago. She came out, I tried to make out with her, she was super fucking mad, and she's like, man, I just lost my phone, fuck this bullshit, fuck people, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, it had nothing to do with me, right? I still did what I was supposed to be doing, and she was angry because of something completely unrelated to me, something I didn't have control over. So, she says, no, it could be a whole number thing, or it could be feedback. She could be rejecting your approach. You could roll up like a pussy, and she'll treat you like a pussy. You could roll up like you have no balls, and she'll treat you like you have no balls. You could roll up like a guy who doesn't have a dick, and she'll treat you like a guy who doesn't have a dick. She doesn't, right? Exactly. So, we're here to give you feedback. We as coaches. It's in the notes. So, you're here to give yourself feedback. So you'll be noticing once we start talking about vocal tonality and body language and stuff that you're going to have to give yourself feedback. You're like, oh man, I did that, and I should have been doing this. You'll be able to self-correct, and then the next approach you're going to be all right. Have you ever seen a beautiful woman approach that you wanted to approach? Just take that back. Have you ever seen a beautiful woman that you wanted to approach, but then you let her walk?
All the time.
All the time.
All the fucking time.
Somebody that you as a man was like, oh, I would like to go talk to her, and then you didn't.
And then you see her making out with some other dude, and that could have been you, and you're like, oh, fuck.
Yeah.
She was drunk enough to go for me.
Yeah, okay. That happens a lot.
So, what we're going to do is we're going to talk about a way to alleviate approach anxiety. That's what we call this, approach anxiety. So some nomenclature we attach to this feeling of not being able to go talk to me. We're going to alleviate that by progressively desensitizing ourselves in social interaction. Is that okay with you guys?
Yeah.
Right. So then you have the freedom to be a fucking man and talk to whoever you want. You get that feeling in your system. You go, oh, this is scary. Then you just do it. It gets less scary and less scary and less scary and less scary. Because you just sort of power through it. So the technique that we use primarily is what we call warming up. If we're gonna go warm up for the gym, we're gonna lift light. You're not gonna lift 300 pounds. I know you squat 300 pounds, right? 350. Okay. You're not gonna go in and walk into the gym with your 1 rep max is 350. You put it on your shoulders and you go, ah! I'm done with my workout.
That's fine, okay.
Right? Maybe that's what you do. I don't know.
350 would just push me down. Would die.
Fuck your limiting belief. But basically, we go in, we lift a lighter weight, then we lift a little less lighter weight, and we get our muscles warmed up for the thing so we don't injure ourselves, right? Then we lift, we put our big lift down, and then we're done with our workout and everything's cool. We burn a lot of calories, everybody thinks we're awesome, we glisten with sweat, we hang out in the sauna, talk about shit, right? This is warming up. We warm up in the gym, we warm up at work, we set a little list of things to do, and then we start thinking about how we're going to do it and organize it before we go off and go all crazy, right? This is a warm-up. Social interaction is very similar. You spend all day sitting, listening to a douchebag talk, or you spend all day in front of a computer screen, you're going to be like this. In this mode. The state that you want to be in is going to be social. conveying things and being able to talk and tell stories and do shit, right? Make eye contact, smile, laugh at jokes. These things are, your brain will let you access that state of mind, but you can't just shock yourself into it. A lot of times you show up at the club and just be like, right? And that thing, exactly, this is perfect face. That thing, you can make go away just by slowly ramping up into a social interaction. So how we do a warm-up is, the rule is ass. A-S-S. Always say something. Ass. So, from now on, you're the type of men that when you see a woman that you want to talk to, you always say something. It could be, oh, hi. It could be, hello. It could be, nice hat, nice scarf, nice shirt. It could be, I like the way you walk. You look like you're having fun. Any of these things. Make an observation and just say something. Anything.
Sorry.
You can say, hey, do you know where the food court is? It doesn't matter. Just say anything. Because some girls who are primed that they want to see you, and then you make a move, they'll take over. Right? You'll be like, hey, can I get directions to the, oh my God, I was just looking, blah, 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 and they'll just keep talking. And you don't have to do a whole lot because they're already attracted. And you never would have had an opportunity if you didn't just say something. Right? So, always say something. From now on, you guys are the kind of guys that if you see something that you want to go see, and it's, in your proximity, like you're like, oh, there's a really hot girl way over there, half a mile away, I'm going to run over there and say it because I'm a pickup artist. No, I mean, but if it's there, and you have the opportunity to either go or pass it up, go. And say something, anything. Ask for the time, ask for directions, anything. But always say something. That's the primary rule here. If you see a hot girl, ask her for directions if you want. I am not going to go through the rest of this stuff today. So, we have two ways of doing a warm-up, right? We go questions and comments, right? We either ask a question, where's Starbucks? Where's, do you have directions for this? Have you seen that? Are you having a good New Year, right? These questions. Or a comment. Nice hat, nice shirt, nice scarf. I like your eyes. You have a very sexy walk. Whatever. Right? You make a comment, ask a question. That make sense?
Yes.
So if I were to say, I'm a hot girl standing here, and you were to walk up, what are you going to say?
What's that?
There it is. Question. What are you going to say?
Where's the food court?
Where's the food court? Question. Give me a comment example. Give me an example of a comment.
I like your stare.
You like my stare?
That dress looks great.
What?
That dress looks great on you.
Projection. Got to work on that with you. Right? Dress looks great on you. Okay, great. So you guys get it. So what we're going to do today, and the only exercise we're doing today, is the warm up. Okay, we're going to walk from here to the end of that area. Maybe we'll do a whole circle. It's kind of cold out here.
Let's do the circle.
Just do the circle.
Starbucks.
We'll start here. We'll go off through Starbucks. We got 20 minutes.
Oh.
Here's the realistic goal. I want you to do 3 warm-ups before the end of the thing.
Right.
Before we get through the whole circle. Right? 3. You're just going to roll up and say, hey, I like your walk. I like your smile. I like nice scarf. Anything. You just throw and go. They don't even have to respond. Just do it. Right? You see a hot girl you want to talk to? You start walking in her direction. Go. Say something. Keep moving. You don't have to fucking stop. You don't have to do any of this keynote escalation or whatever. Just warm up. Does that make sense?
Yep.
You guys feel good about the exercise?
Yes.
Do you have any questions?
No question.
Awesome.
Let's do this.
Thanks. So this is what I'm talking about. So we're in the mall. And Lindy's the only guy. What is wrong with my focus? Last night.
What is CQC?
Alright, so I'm just going to go over the cover it real quick, and then we'll jump into day 2.
Okay.
So warming up, blah, blah, blah. Here's the deal. The reason anybody has approach anxiety is because they're projecting something into the outcome. They're projecting something. They expect something to happen that may or may not be happening. It's not reality. It's like something in their brain, and they go, bam. Like, I want this to happen, and then you get disappointed because that's not happening. That's not real. It's like you made it up in your head, and then you get disappointed, and you get all in your head about it, and you basically just manufactured all that yourself. Like, the event was you either walked up or you didn't. She either responded well or she didn't. That was the event. But what you attributed to it was like, oh, I'm not a good enough person, and so I can't go walk up to her and bother her or whatever. A woman needs to feel your desire. She doesn't generally get turned on by itself. She gets turned on by seeing your desire. So when you walk up and you don't show interest, then she doesn't feel the interest. Does that make sense? A man leads that. She is the gatekeeper. She will say yay or nay, but men always lead the desire thing. Women want to feel a man's desire in order to amp up their own. Does that make sense? We talked about these qualities, so we're going to talk about what to do. We want to maintain being the prize. Too much desire, when you put a girl on a pedestal, you make her the prize, something to be won. Too much desire will make her walk away.
Can you use money for those cards?
Today we're talking about opening. There are two types of opening. There's an indirect approach and then there's a direct approach. What do you guys like more? Do you guys know what I'm talking about? It's like direct versus indirect.
You know what I like?
What do you like?
Direct.
Direct. Direct.
Direct.
And you, sir?
Both.
Both.
I like both too.
When do you like when do you like doing direct?
When I do Daygame.
When you do Daygame?
Yeah.
And then at night then, what do you do? Indirect?
You know, I just play it cool.
I just dance on the dance floor and let them come to me. Yeah.
I just play it cool.
Basically, in the daytime, direct approach is much more effective. It's a lot more honest, a lot more authentic. Because in the daytime, you're not going to be like, oh, hey, that's a really nice watch. Where did you get it? Oh, cool. My daughter has a watch like that. Da 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 da. And you have this whole weird conversation. This girl's doing something in the daytime. She doesn't know why you're there, so as long as you tell her why you're there, like, look, I thought you were really cute. She knows. Now, she could accept that or not, but she knows. At nighttime, it's a little bit more difficult to do the direct thing. You get a lot lower percentage because they're out for that kind of attention. But in the daytime, nobody approaches her in the daytime, and when they do, it's usually this half-assed, like, oh, I'm gonna come in and be your friend. And what did we say yesterday? If you act like a guy that doesn't have a dick, she's going to treat you like a guy without a dick. Right?
You're dickless.
Well, it doesn't blow, actually. Ridiculous.
So,
Ridiculous.
examples of... Oh, yeah. A direct shows confidence. Not only is it authentic, it shows confidence.
It shows
Most guys won't
abundance,
do
too.
that.
Like, you don't give a fuck if you get rejected or not.
Yeah. Abundance. It shows vulnerability. Like, you're willing to do this, and you're willing to sort of get rejected, and you're okay with that. And that's a strength on its own. Lance Mason used to say, a girl just loves a guy who's willing to just put his dick out on the table. And it doesn't mean that we have lewd and lascivious behavior, but it means that you're willing to be vulnerable. You're willing to say yay or nay.
He just lays it out on the table, literally.
So she wants to feel your desire, and going direct. Feeling that. What? Yeah.
Flying over an election.
The plane has a desire. She wants to feel the desire, and going direct really it begins that interaction. Too many people will go in and just talk, and they're like, oh, why are we here? Like, oh, it's really nice. I'm really polite to you because I don't know what you're asking for. And if you just go in, you're like, I thought you were really cute. I had to stop you. I had to say hi. She knows why you're there. She's flattered generally, if you're not being super creepy about it. And it never happens to them. So usually they giggle and they get embarrassed, and then it makes their day. And that type of approach is a lot more effective. It shows that confidence. It shows that authenticity. It shows your vulnerability, and it's closer to the romance novel. Like all of these movies where a guy runs into a girl in the street, and then they get all, oh, this is a chance random happening, and I never expected this to happen, and my hair wasn't done, and they get all flustered, and then they think about him. It's closer to getting swept off your feet in that fairy tale sort of way than an indirect pickup. Direct is really balls out and gets massive results. So we use it in the daytime almost exclusively. I don't know what these notes mean. Examples of being direct. Can you give me an example of being direct?
Down a phone?
Okay, that's very direct.
The most extreme version I can think of possibly.
Yeah, I'm trying to fuck you right now, girl. Yeah, that's direct. How about you, Lenny?
And this is why you need game. Else it ain't gonna fly unless you look like fucking Paul.
Last night it would have fly.
Last night it would have fly. That's true. That's a good
what's your
Hold on, let me look it up.
What's up?
I think you're beautiful.
I think you're beautiful. Very good.
No.
Direct.
Scratch it, I think you're beautiful.
It's like
awesome.
James Blunt.
You're beautiful. So yeah, you're beautiful. It's very direct. It shows intent. It says, I came to talk to you because I am interested in what you look like. It's very direct. Would you like to talk? It's a very similar direct thing.
I don't recommend that one.
Which, and that's actually not a bad word, because remember we were talking yesterday, 90s.
It might be funny to say, are you DTF? That'd be way funnier.
Right.
If you want to get away with it.
You know, we should do a video where we do like 100 and just ask the girls if they're down. I think Simple Pickup did one, and it was hilarious. He got 2 yeses out of 100 approaches. I was just wondering if you would have sex with me. So, anyways, we're back to the thing we were talking about. Staying on topic with you guys.
The good thing is you can get away with anything if you say just kidding.
Just kidding.
Nah, just kidding.
Yeah.
You can literally back
Just like, hey, would you fuck
Just kidding.
use the YouTube method. Just make it a prank. It's a prank.
Yeah. So examples of really direct openers are like, I want to make out with you right now, etc. Examples of a little less powerful, or a little less intense. Power's good, but a little less intense is to be like, oh hey, you're beautiful, you're gorgeous, and then a little less than that is like, you're cute, you're adorable, the little girl type of stuff. They hit a little less on the sexual side and more on the childhood attraction side. So you can do all of those things, but I would recommend that you do any of these things. I would rather you ask a girl if she's down to have sex with you than ask her what she likes to do in the mall. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're there, hi, I had to stop you because I was wondering where you got that bag. Like, shut the fuck up. Today, I'm not saying that indirect is bad, because I really like indirect game, especially like evening, nighttime, happy hour type of thing. But today we're doing direct, so that's that. So one thing that we do when we're doing the warm up is, remember warm-ups, questions and comments. In order to transition into an opener, we'll just throw it away. So we'll walk up and just say, hey, real quick, I just wanted to know, do you know where Starbucks is? And she'll be like, oh yeah, it's over there, blah, 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 turn around the corner there. And then you're like, actually, it wasn't really about Starbucks. I just thought you were cute. I had to say hi. Right? And you can just flip out of the cop-out warm-up and flip it right into an opener. So, like we were doing warm-ups earlier, oh, that's a really nice scarf. Oh, that's this. Do you know what time it is? You know what time this place closes? You know where Starbucks is? We do know where Starbucks is in almost every city because there's a Starbucks in every city. It's like, you know any place good to eat around here? Where's the H&M at? Like those things you can flip right into the opener and say, look, actually, now that you're stopped, it wasn't about Starbucks at all. I just want to talk to you. That's it. So that's the transition from warm-up to opener, to direct opener. Does that make sense? Awesome. So, how to stop? Go to stopping. Alright, so there's 4 or 5 different ways to do this. Can I use you as a demonstration?
Me?
Yeah.
Use me as a demonstration.
Okay. So, I gotta get up. So, most of the time, the people that you're going to be approaching are not going to be
Looking like me.
They don't look like Bob. They're going to be walking in transit, going somewhere. So we want to stop them before we can talk to them. And the way we do that is we use a verbal time constraint and body language. Verbal time constraint and body language. So we say, real quick. Real quick.
No, that actually works because when I do magic, I say, you guys got a minute? Like a minute. Everybody has a minute.
So you want to stop them about, what we say is 3 meters out, which is about 9 feet. All right. There. Right? So if he's walking, I'm walking. And I stop him like this. Hey, real quick. Like, we're not even, like, it's going to kind of back off. Like, it's like, oh, because I came in too late. And he's walking. I'm like, hey, real quick. He doesn't even notice because I'm too far out. Right? So we want to do it right around that 9, 10 foot, maybe 15. You make kind of eye contact with him. Put both hands out and say, real quick. And plan. And let them have the, let them close the distance. Does that make sense?
Looks like we're teaching MMA
Distance.
Close the distance.
So, go ahead and both get up. Yeah.
Lindy's like, what the fuck?
We're gonna have you role play because it's part of the. This is my glide stabilizer. The weight on the bottom of the monopod. Yeah, you like that? So, go ahead and practice it like 3 or 4 times each. Like he starts walking and then you stop, hey, real quick. Feel how you feel doing it and have him tell you how he feels with you stopping and whether you're too close, too far away. Does that make sense? You'd rather practice it with Bo than have to do it in real life first.
Because I'm a lot less intimidating. Don't say it.
Bottle matter. Okay. So you want to be able to end everything on a high note. If you've ever hung out with me for any length of time, you know I always tell people to stay awesome at the end of my interactions. Have an awesome night, have an excellent evening. Like I do that shit all the time. And the reason is that we want to end everything on a high note. Let's say we're over there and there's this hot ass bitch and everybody's like, damn, I wish I could go talk to her. And then we got big balls and we're like, okay, we're gonna go talk to her. We roll up and she's like, you know, to be honest with you, I think you're a fucking pussy. I want you to kill yourself and die. In fact, do it right now because you're a worthless low life pathetic piece of shit. What made you think you can come up to me and talk to me in public? Who the fuck do you think you are? Get out of here. Go fuck yourself. Anybody around you didn't hear her say anything. Right? You just walked up to a really hot chick like a confident dude. Your shoulders are back, your head was up. They saw a confident dude approach a girl. The girl said something. And if you go away going with your shoulders down, you're like, oh, dejected, everybody's going to be like, oh, that guy got blown out. But nobody heard her say anything. So if you go, awesome, have an awesome night, and you high-five her, and you leave, everybody thinks you're a boss. You get plenty of social proof from around or whatever. You want to end it that way because not only do you get social proof, but you also get the... When you leave, and your state's going, because the girl was super mean, super lame. You don't have to let your state stay there. You just say, oh, you're awesome, have an awesome day, bam, and then you leave. And then everybody thought you were cool, you thought you were cool, she realizes you're not a super creeper, and everything's cool. Does that make sense? So, you have your opener. Hi. Oh, did we cover openers at all, like the words? We covered the roll in, transition from roll up to direct opener. I thought you were cute, wanted to say hi. Okay, we're going to go over the opener real quick. Oh yeah, and then we got into it. Okay, so opener is basically goes like this. Time constraint. Real quick. I only got a minute. I only got a second. I got to meet up with somebody, but I had to. These are time constraints. These are things to say. I'm not going to be here that long taking a lot of time. I use real quick. It works.
Low battery.
Low battery. I got another battery. So, time constraint, then we say, I thought you were cute, I thought you were gorgeous, I thought you were hot, I liked your walk, you're sexy as hell, you look like you're a lot of fun, that little like sexual undertone. Any of those things are very direct. So you give a compliment, and then you go from there, right? So we have the warm-up, which is, oh, hey, nice scarf, I like the way you walk, whatever. And you say, actually, it wasn't about Starbucks. I just thought you were really cute, and I had to say hi. That make sense? So that's the opener. And then the closer is like, okay, have an awesome day, or whatever. Come up with something awesome. I use have an awesome day all the time, especially in Daygame, because it's like, oh, it's a little quirky. So, the mission today, for the next, I guess, half hour, is to do 5 warm-ups and 2 direct approaches. I'm not sure if we're doing the direct approaches. So, when you're doing Daygame, there's something about venue choice. Okay, so it's Sunday after New Year's. Went to the Camera Outlets for the first 2 days, and today we went to Thousand Oaks Mall. So at the outlets, you know, normally guys are like, oh, there's not enough hot chicks here, and then they just bone out and they're lame. But there literally just wasn't any hot chicks there. There was like 5 girls the whole day that were worth talking to. But, you know, we talked to a bunch of girls anyway, but it was like so pointless. And then we went to the mall today, and there's a whole lot of girls there, but it's just the population, we just kept seeing the same ones over and over and over again. Infield, did you like your infield thing? What do you think did you learn?
A lot.
On the microphone?
Like approach, definitely, you know, overcoming that fear of anxiety.
Yeah, and so what do you think that you were afraid of before that you sort of covered here?
Just approaching, mostly.
That.
Just like stopping anybody to say hi or like, you know, saying anything. Just even saying anything, you know. So, yeah, pretty much hop around.
You feel kind of scared of approaching the excited?
I mean, there's always that sense of like nervousness, but still,
Awesome. So today we're going to talk about the second step in the CQC system. Yesterday we were talking about complimenting. Compliment, qualities. Complimenting is probably the most direct way to do it. And, so we did a little bit of that yesterday. How you're beautiful, how I guess I should have mic now. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to do what we call qualification. Now, why do you think we want to qualify? You know what qualification is? Yeah. So basically, you want a woman to know that you want her for more than what she looks like. You can be initially attracted, that's what brought you up to her, but after the fact, like, you have standards. Like, you have, you know, you're not just going to settle for anybody. So you're going to ask her questions that are going to see if she qualifies to be in your world, if she's worth taking on to the next level. So we do what we call qualification. There's a bunch of different ways to qualify and a bunch of different levels. But the easiest way we do it, especially when you first use the system, is, you know, I don't know anything about you. Tell me one thing interesting about yourself. And that'll get her to stop instead of being like, what the fuck is happening? Conversation that goes with it. Now just think about something. Oh, how am I going to prove myself to you? Okay. And as she answers, then she begins more invested in the relationship. Because the more she gives off, the more vulnerability she shows, the more investment she has in it, and she's less likely to stop talking. Because the qualification shows that you have standards. It shows that you're awesome, and that you expect high things of people. You can't just let people do whatever they want. You expect them to be about it. It also shows that you're the product. You're the one that is doing the selection. Okay, well, I'm good enough. Normally in society that role's reversed. Girls are the selectors and we're the chasers. Right? When you qualify, you give her the opportunity to invest in the relationship, and it makes it a whole lot more intimate later on. So, a quick deal on closing. When we're number closing in the qualification. Oh yeah. So that's really it. Qualification. Oh yeah. When you challenge her, it puts the pressure on her and off of you. So you don't have to think of something to say and carry the conversation. And she's now thinking, oh, what is something interesting? Well, I'm a nurse. And whatever she says back, you can sort of break off that. Oh, that's really cool. I have a friend who's a nurse. My mom was a nurse. And then you can have that conversation. And you say, how does it make you feel being told you? Are you like a lifesaver? You know, you just carry it into the next thing and sort of challenge her some more. And then after a couple of minutes of the conversation, because we're at the mall, you know, in this stage, later on we can do it in stage. But in this stage, I just want you to go with the number. And the easiest way to do that is, you know what, you seem cool. We should keep in touch. Push number. Or, it's cool, we should exchange numbers. That's it. It doesn't really matter how you feel like you've generated enough rapport or not, just go for it. And when you go for it, you usually get it. Remember your body language stuff. Shoulders back, your head up, keep your eye contact. Eye contact is the most important thing. When you walk up, you're like, look, I just have to tell you, you're absolutely gorgeous and I have to meet you. And they go, oh, you know, but I don't know anything about you. Tell me one thing about yourself. And they go, oh, blah, blah, blah. Oh, yeah, you seem pretty cool. We should exchange numbers. So we'll hang out. That's it. And it's seriously like a 30-second interaction. That's all it has to be. It can go for longer and you can get a lot more rapport, but the system is very, very simple. I'm not saying that it's easy, but it's very, very simple. So once we get the stops down, we get the stops yesterday, once we get the compliment down, I want you to qualify now. Tell me one thing interesting about yourself. I gotta go, or whatever, it's fine. Or they'll be like, well, I'm a skydiving instructor. You can talk about it. Or they'll say like, you know, I don't really have anything interesting. Then you sort of help them out. We'll go over that in the next segment. We'll go over, okay, what happens after you get a couple of them, how to handle this. is we're going to go in. We're going to do 5 warm-ups. Just like we did yesterday. Hi, hi, hi. Say something to anybody. They don't have to be super hot. Just warm up. Hi, nice shirt, nice scarf, nice dog. Like I did yesterday when I ran into the store. It's like, you guys look like you're having fun, and I put the headphones on, just like random shit like that to get your mind into the state of being social, being be all crazy. Vegas looking. And and then after that, then we'll do. I think today is. Right. So then we'll do 3 of those. So we'll do 5 warm-ups, 3 direct approaches. It stays. I just want you to call. Like you can go for the number. I mean, it makes sense to go for the number. Like, but if you feel like all nervous, you got to blow out. At least pull. Go for the qualification. Say, you know, I don't know anything about you. Tell me one thing interesting about yourself. Or you can say, what do you do for fun and stuff? Just sounds powerful. Make them think. So you go for that, even if it's awkward, and then you'll get over the asking that question. Sometimes they'll keep walking away. Oh, I have to go. Like, yeah, but real quick, tell me one thing interesting about yourself before you go. And they'll be like, I drive a Mercedes. Anyways, I have to go. Like, they'll go, right? But you went for it. You still finished your mission. Right? It doesn't matter how they respond. You just have to go through it so you know what it's like when they when you ask the question to drivers. Right?
Yeah. So throw, for example, so I don't know anything about you. Tell me one interesting thing about you.
Oh my God! Stop.
If you don't mind me asking, what's like the purpose of it? Like, you guys on a mission or something? Or?
Yeah, missions. Well, the purpose is to find him a beautiful wife.
Match.com.
Are you on arranged marriage or
Kinda, yeah. We're kind of shooting for that a little bit, but
looking for some good candidates?
Well, how do you meet chicks?
I mean, I'm not really like looking for a girlfriend right now.
All right.
Especially because I'm like.
So we didn't get any phone numbers, but we got 2 pairs of shoes. So